So you remember our 8-frame hive that Harley gave us. Because God spoke to him and told him we needed bees, and he gave us bees. He uses 8 frames. We use 10 frames. Most of the time you would just go in there, undo the hive, pull the 8 frames out, put it in a 10-frame hive, add to it if you needed to. But in this case, that very top hive has got a lot of wild comb in it. There was only a couple of actual frames in there because he ran out of frames when he put it on top, and they built wild comb into that, and it's going to be kind of messy to get into. So we're going to try something to try to keep from tearing all that comb out and possibly destroying brood and killing bees that we don't have to. And plus the trouble of, if it does have brood in there, we can get it out, wiring it into empty wooden frames. So we're going to try this first, see how it works out, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this 10-frame hive, full of plastic wax-coated foundation, and we're going to put it on top of that 8-frame. Now the 8-frame is of course more narrow, that would leave a gap. So we are going to use some cardboard strips to put on that 8-frame, just enough to cover that gap. It's going to be temporary, and what we will move up into this, start building comb, and then the queen will come up and begin to lay eggs. That's what we're hoping. May be too tall, she may be down lower, she may not come up into this. But before I go in there and start tearing out a bunch of wild comb, I'm going to try this. Put just a little bit of lemongrass oil in here, hopefully draw them up, get the queen up in here, start laying eggs. When I know the queen is in here, if I can spot her, I will then put a queen excluder underneath this hive. And then that will keep her from getting out. And when she has laid eggs, then I can move this off, have the queen. And then I can go in, take apart that hive, put it back together in 10-frame deeps. Hoping. And like a lot of things, you plan for animals or insects. They have different ideas in ways you have never thought of. So that is a possibility. Things may not go right, but if we don't try, we're never going to know. So we're all going to find out. So let's start. We're going to put the cardboard strips underneath there to kind of hang out from the 8-frame hive to cover the bottom. We're probably alright to leave it open, but then other bees could get in there. Could be robber bees or something go on. I don't think they would. This hive is fairly strong. But we're going to cover the bottom just to make sure it's safe. I had to work to get this top open here because that wild comb in there is attached to the lid of this hive. I've had it open once before when I put a winter patty in there. Now when I looked at the comb, I could not tell the way it is if there's brood in that wild comb or not. So that's why we're going to go ahead and take the precaution of putting this hive body on top to hopefully draw that queen up into that. If there is brood, the queen has been in that part, so she will probably travel up into the cellar, but we don't know. This is just kind of an experiment to see if this will work. If it does, great. If it doesn't, we'll do something else. Just gonna put those cardboard strips on there where they'll cover the 10 frame bottom, and just put this top right on here. And then we're going to put the inner cover on. That will make it easier to get into that hive. And I like using the inner covers because of that reason. The lid is a lot easier to get off. They don't glue that down. And I will leave a link at the last part of this to go to the first video that we had with this hive. Does God Still Speak is the title of it. And then we will add other videos concerning this hive, and I will try to keep them in a line where you can find them. Right here is where I'm putting the lemon grass oil down. I'm putting it on a Q-tip, that way that scent will hang in there a little longer. Some kind of cotton, something that will hold the moisture works best, and Q-tips were handy, so that's what I use. So in a week or so, we're going to check into this hive to see if they are building comb in that, for one thing. The next thing we're going to start checking for when they start building comb is if there is going to be eggs in that top part. If there's eggs in there, that's when we start searching for the queen. If we can get eggs in there within a week after they start building comb, then we'll work on trapping that queen in that top part, so we make sure we don't harm her when we take that wild comb out. And then we can transfer that 10 frame box to a bottom, and we can start from there, lay it in front of that hive, maybe sideways or something, where the bees can get out of it and find their way into the new hive. That way that we know the queen is safe. We'll try to give it time for the brood to get out of the top box. If there's any brood in that wild comb, they can hatch out. Of course, that'll take about 21 days total. We may not wait that long. And then we can remove the bottom two, put those frames into 10 frame hives, possibly split this hive into two. So remember, count your blessings every day, and I know you will find that you are blessed well beyond measure. I know that I am. Have a good day, Willie Farms.